This is KGW News at 11.
We begin tonight with some sad news. A 70-year-old veteran is the first person here in Oregon to die from the new coronavirus, COVID-19. The victim was from here in Multnomah County and was being treated at Portland's VA Medical Center. His name is not being released. They said the veteran had underlying health conditions and is believed to have gotten the virus through community spread. A Multnomah County health officer says his death is a sobering reminder of how serious this can be for older people and those with underlying conditions. The VA says the man is not connected to the other cases at the Oregon Veterans Home in Lebanon. There are now a total of 9 people sick there. And in a statement, the director of the Oregon Health Authority wrote, "While we knew we would arrive at this day at some point, it doesn't lessen the impact." He also offered his condolences to the family. Also today, the Oregon Health Authority reported 6 new presumptive positive cases of coronavirus. That brings the statewide total to 36. The new cases are in Washington, Deschutes, and Linn counties. One of the Deschutes County cases has been tied to international travel, while the others are all considered community spread. Now, across the river in Clark County, there have been 3 cases reported. In all of Washington state, there are at least 642 confirmed cases of COVID-19. That's the most in the country. There have been 40 deaths there. The majority of those deaths are linked to the outbreak at Kirkland's Life Care Center nursing home. And take a look at this. This is video of the line waiting to go through customs at Chicago's O'Hare Airport. When this was taken, the crowd had been reportedly waiting for 3 hours. The official O'Hare Twitter account says customs processing is taking longer than usual due to enhanced screening for coronavirus. Airport staffers and Chicago police handed out bottled water and snacks to those waiting travelers. A similar sight at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. Photos show rows and rows of people waiting to be screened. And this comes as the White House has been adding 2 new countries to its travel ban. That's to slow the spread of coronavirus. The vice president says travel to the United Kingdom and Ireland will be suspended starting Monday. While Americans will be able to return to the U.S. from Europe, non-Americans who travel through the 28 affected countries will be turned away. France has ordered restaurants, bars, theaters, and clubs to close. Church services there have also been canceled. And late this afternoon, Spain announced a mandatory lockdown to slow the spread of coronavirus. Spain is the second hardest hit country in Europe behind Italy. Also today, we've learned President Trump has tested negative for the coronavirus. He was tested after coming into contact with 2 people who did test positive for the virus. And the coronavirus is having an immense impact on the Metro Portland area. From stores with long lines and empty shelves to restaurants changing the way they operate and businesses suspending operations. These are all changes that really shake our daily routine. KGW's Art Edwards has been following some of these changes that we've been seeing over the weekend.
As the number of coronavirus cases rise, there is more change. Some local restaurants have decided that takeout is the only way to go. The owners of some restaurants formed what they've called the Portland Independent Restaurant Association. The idea is to share ideas to be able to stay afloat.
We're trying to kind of all work together, obviously to support each other kind of during this time. We're all sharing resources and just trying to figure out what exactly we can do, not only to protect ourselves as businesses, but also to protect the community and just kind of be as responsible as possible.
Maya Lovelace is the owner of the restaurants May and Yonder. She says they're trying to protect their customers, their staff, and weather this storm. Carlo LaMagna of Magna Cucina is part of the newly formed association.
We're going to start a takeout menu, meal planning menu for the weeks to come for people who are going to be quarantined to be able to provide a full week's food. Our staff is willing to deliver for free to help other restaurants.
There are others being impacted. The Hollywood Theater has suspended all events at the theater and at the Movie Madness Miniplex until Wednesday, April 8th. Winco Foods has changed hours at many stores. Instead of being open 24 hours, they'll close from midnight to 5 a.m. to clean and stock shelves. And in response to high demand for groceries, Fred Meyer is hiring.
We need a lot of good people to serve our customers and the community. So So we've got jobs posted, and we're excited to be hiring new people right away.
It's suggested that you have 2 weeks' worth of food on hand. Some stores, though, are capping purchases of items like water, hand sanitizer, and toilet paper.
The idea of stockpiling is a way to feel in control about a situation that feels out of control. It's a way to feel like I know no matter what happens, I will not run out of what I need.
Businesses are trying their best to get through this and say they hope they'll come out even stronger in the future. Brittany?
Thank you, Art. Well, University of Portland students spent the morning packing up and moving out of the dorms. The school says it's transitioning to online learning. Students with special circumstances can petition to stay living on campus during the shutdown. Students we spoke to understand that the school is trying to keep everyone safe, but they're worried about students who might have difficulty leaving campuses. Many colleges and universities in Oregon and Washington have moved to online learning, at least for the next few weeks. And it's not just colleges and universities closing. Washington's governor ordered all K-12 schools to close for the next 6 weeks. Oregon's Governor Kate Brown ordered schools closed for 2 weeks. Many districts say despite the closures, they will still provide meals to kids who need them. The Tigard-Tualatin district sent boxes of food home with some families, and they plan to do that over the next 2 weeks. Some local school districts also have family liaisons and counselors helping with grocery and utility bills if a parent isn't able to work and collect a paycheck. Some big changes here in Multnomah County as well as we move forward. First, all public libraries are closed for the foreseeable future. Library employees, though, they'll still get paid, and some will be reassigned to other county jobs. Also, any late fees will be waived. County jails will no longer allow visitors, and the sheriff's office is opening additional space to spread out inmates. Portland police will be taking more of their reports online or over the phone, but of course, they'll still respond when there's a safety issue. And the reason for all of these restrictions and closures, it's something called flattening the curve. And practicing this social distancing could have a big impact on how the virus spreads here in our community. In recent days, people have been talking about flattening the curve when it comes to fighting the coronavirus. But what does that mean? Well, let's connect the dots. A disease specialist at Harvard estimates up to 60% of people could contract coronavirus. And while public officials are working to slow the spread of the virus, stopping it completely might be impossible. Yet, slowing the speed of the outbreak could be vital to saving lives. It's called flattening the curve. The curve is a huge spike in cases that could overwhelm the American healthcare system. Hospitals right now are already dealing with a bad flu season. If they're inundated with coronavirus patients, there may not be enough beds or critical equipment like ventilators available. That's why public health officials want to cancel mass gatherings, encourage people to work from home, and practice social distancing. Those tactics may not stop the spread, but it could flatten the curve. Another reason to flatten the curve, what Italy is going through right now. Their healthcare system has been so overwhelmed that physicians are rationing care, deciding who gets treated and who doesn't. So far, more than 21,000 people in that country have tested positive for the virus. The death toll has reached 1,441.